Earlier in the last video, I was knocking out the color challenges. Last one to go is the red deck. So this has never been my favorite color. I think I've maybe played it in a tournament once, maybe. I always preferred either the blue or the white or the green. Generally, I liked a combination of like Stompy, and then eventually I got into things like control decks, Gaia's Blessing, and there was a really nice Imperial Armor deck that was really popular when I was playing, and I actually did very well with it. But I'm interested. Now that I see what green has to offer, there's definitely some new things that make it fresh for me. So I'm excited to see what is new with red. Let's kick right in. Let's just do it. I have to take a look at these cards. I'm not super familiar with them. See, I've got plenty of mountains. Just kind of hit those up in a second. So Fire Urchin is trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +1/+0. Alright, so kind of an early blocking card, but we can beef them up a little bit. They're playing black. If I was paying attention, I probably would have noticed that at the beginning. I don't even know enough about black yet to know what's popular. Create a number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens equal to 2 plus the number of cards named Goblin Gathering in your graveyard. So what, this will go into the graveyard and then the spell will resolve and I'll get 2 + 1. So I'll get 3? Will I get 3? Or 0? This will resolve first, there'll be nothing, and I'll get 2 + 0. That's my assumption. I'm assuming I'm going to get 0, or 2 total. Yep, 2. So the next one I'll get 3 and 4. So I'll have quite a few here. Now, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+0. That's pretty handy. Whatever, I'll take it. Three, 2, just like that. Six damage to any target. Crazy. Just a standard 3/2. Well, there's no reason not to keep casting these. I don't see any reason to trade these two at this point. I'd have to cast it, and at that point I could trade it. It's just a standard card. It's probably a little better than mine. I definitely have more on the field than they do, so I feel like I have more to gain by attacking. Maybe that's what I do, is I just attack all. Because then what? I'll be able to do, let's say he blocks over here and lives, so he'll take 3, and then I can do 6. I'll put him at 15, and 6 is 9. I'll still have that one. Otherwise, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever. You attack. See if you want to trade. Yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. It makes life easy then. I don't really have to think too much. Oh, see, now I think I would have been better off keeping them. That's okay. Alright, well, let's do this. Let's make life simple. Oh, it gives you the number at the top. Look at that. Oh, that's handy. The crown and the top. I can't bring my mouse up there, otherwise it would. But you can see right here, 4. So now that I have 2 in the graveyard, this will be 4. Pretty cool. Can I cast you yet? Do I have enough? No. Boom. Get out of here. I don't want to see you anymore. Let's attack. Everybody attack. Attack at the punies. And you are a sorcery, so we're gonna pop you down. God, there's so many of them. Okay. I have 9 of them. Alright. Alright. Whoa! For 3 mana, he gets a 7/6. Oh my gosh. I would have so many of those in my deck. Good gosh. I guess at some point you're just discarding to keep a card. It seems actually pretty fair. Alright. There's really no point. So if I attack with everybody, he's going to take at least 8. He can only block with 1. 8, and then I can deal 6, which will get me up to 14, which should do it, right? So let's just attack everybody. Oh, I guess I could attack this one too. But we will take the win instead. Those are really a catch-22 when you're discarding, because you're not able to gain anything in your hand. You're basically saying what I have on the field is good enough. Shivan Dragon. There was a Rathi Dragon too. +1/+0 to end of turn. 6 flying. Spitfire flying. 1/3. Whenever opponent is dealt non-combat damage. So if you, what is non-combat, like tapping an ability or something like that, or to use like incinerate or something. And we're getting rid of these. Well, she looks very fearless. She looks very fearless. I don't know which is better. Probably the flying. Yeah, probably better. Right. Vivian Reed. Scorch Spitter. Whenever Scorch Spitter attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. I like it. card. I was wondering if these guys are going to be returning. I hadn't seen one yet. It's kind of a staple of the green Stompy deck, really, is the ability to get so much mana so early. Alright, Chandra's Pyro Helix deals 2 damage divided as you choose among 1 or 2 targets. There's no way he'll block, will he? This is weird. Alright, so let's, I can't cast a mountain, so let's just do an attack. Yeah, I didn't think that they were gonna take the bait on that, because that card is way too early this early in the game. It's too valuable this early in the game. What was that about non-combat damage? Oh, so that would be considered non-combat damage, that first one. Yeah, there we go. There's 2 of them. I was kind of expecting this, so I'm going to put a token on the end of his turn. I'm going to use Chandra's Pyro Helix to take both of those out. He's got Summoning Sickness, but he still has 2 mana. Yep. Alright. Resolve it. What are you going to attack? Usually when green is attacking with Llanowar elves, it's a problem for the green deck. So I get to cast 1 card to get rid of 2 of theirs, so I'm pretty happy about this. Ooh, get out of here. Okay, so at this point, unfortunately, this one's still gonna have Summoning Sickness. It only gets it to the end of the turn, so let's go ahead and do our attack. There we go. And then I will. It's kind of I need him on the board. So. Oh. The shield at the bottom stopping me from. I was still in the blocking phase on the way to the damage phase. I'm actually curious to know how people learn the rules to Magic these days. I remember I had to read it out of a book that came with each of the Magic starter decks. Part of me just wants to shock that thing just to get it out of the way, because I just don't like seeing it there. Part of me too is like, I can hold on to these and use them as non-combat, because that's a total of 4, and every time I do that, that'll boost this by 3. So if I do 4, 3, it's 10. So technically, if I wait a couple of turns, this could turn into 2 and 3 is 5 damage per turn. Sorry, 4 damage per turn. I misspoke. No, 5. 5 plus 1, so 6. 6 total. Right. Should have shocked him. Okay, when the silverback dies, they're entering attack phase, but there's no attack. I am not going to do anything. take my turn. Okay, so a couple of neat things I can do right now. So I can attack, and I'll take them down to 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can take them down to 1 this turn. Or we can play it cool. Yeah, let's just put that one down. Alright. I don't see any harm. And I don't even have to cast this. I don't have to, because I can attack and activate, or I can hold them back. Alright, yeah, let's do that. So we'll attack you. You both are going to get +3, +0. Yep, and we are going to attack with just you, please. Excuse me, one more turn. Does he have trample? He does. Too little, too late, buddy. Learn how to click on a card. So in tournaments, they used to keep track of whoever won by the largest margin if there was ever a tie. So that's why I'm trying to maximize. Even though it only gets me a point, it does still. So now it's my turn. This should be pretty simple right now. You just do one of that, you do a shock to the other player, and we will attack with both. And that should do it. That was easy. Bunch of experience. I get some deck upgrades. Let's see, we're getting rid of Goblin Bird Grabber. Goblin Bird Grabber gains flying until end of turn. Activate this ability only if you control a creature flying. Too bad I didn't get a chance to play with those. They're kind of fun. What else do I get? Drakuseth, Maw of Flames. Whenever Drakuseth, Maw of Flames attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target and 3 to each of up to 2 other targets. 3 to 2 other targets. I hope I get to play this card this next game. This is an old card. Sacrifice deals 2 damage. So this is like a sitting shock slash creature. Those are really good cards. Gladly take those into my deck. Cancel counter target spell. Is counter spell not a thing anymore? Does that not exist in current generation Magic? Leave it in the comments. I don't know. I'll probably look it up at some point, but just from looking at the ones that have been available so far, I thought Counterspell was a staple to blue with just 2 mana. And maybe it was just too powerful, because I felt like whenever you played a blue deck, you always kind of sat there and you looked at them and you said, AI. But the need to keep 3 untapped and do all of your work during your opponent's turn, it's pretty hefty. So it does definitely change the dynamic of the game and how much control you can play. down. Like, it's nice and easy because there's only one card I can play, so it speeds it up a little bit, right? Got the Shivan Dragon and whatever the heck that is. 2-1. Not scared of that. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Everybody attack. All in. Would have been silly for him to block and lose a creature. In that instance, would have been silly. Oh, more Merfolk. I wonder if this is like a Merfolk deck. So I would also be silly to lose that, knowing that how many instant spells I have in my deck. How many? What are they called? Scorches or whatever they are. Silly. Alright, so a little bit of mana starved right now. I've got Shock. Which I can go through and destroy one of these guys. And maybe that's the right play, it's just to shock one of them, right? Yeah, I think that probably is the right play. Let's get a counter on my creature. Let's destroy that. Let's do some daggum damage. And let's attack with everybody who can attack. It only makes sense to attack with those two and keep the other one back. Close. Trying to think about whether or not I want to trade this card for that card, or if I just because it's a computer, I'm fairly certain I could attack with just this card, and that the air elemental would block it. And at that point, I could cast the shock, so that would deal 3 damage plus the extra 1 that it gets, and I could trade this card for that card, and I think that that's probably what I'm gonna do. If it was a person, I would probably attack with these two, leaving this one behind, allow the trading of these 2 cards to happen, and then just wait for the 6. I feel like I'm close enough where I could almost get there. Again, though, like this is, I don't have enough to cast that yet. But let's go to combat. Let's attack with him. Let's see who decides to block exactly. You're gonna block, and now it says 2 damage, and this is the part where I'm gonna say You're gonna regret that. He's tapped. Always check to make sure that blue is tapped when you're trying to do stuff like that. He brings another one out. This game is rigged. Rigged. Alright, so at this point, we could cast this and do 6. Everybody else would have to trade. We could put this on to the field. We could put 6 damage towards this card and attack with my 4/4. Or we could put a 5/5 on the field, which is probably what I'm going to do. I do not think I will attack. Okay, so at this point, he is going to have to block. Is this an instant? It is. Okay. So I think the flyer is my best bet. We're going to attack with this one, and we're going to see if he blocks. He has to. He chose not to block. They make it so easy for me. Oh, can I only do this one at a time? Oh. I thought they would at least give me like a dial or something that would allow me to say how much mana I wanted to pump into it. Is there any reason not to go overboard? Do the whole thing. Let's put an end to this guy. No problem. It's peasy. Okay, my fire urchins are gonna go away. I was not a big fan of this card, quite frankly. Yeah. I'm not sure what is this? Infuriate. Target creature. He looks very mad. Minotaur. Centaur. Target creature gets +3/+2 till end of turn. So kind of like a giant growth for red. Got another one of these. I like the counters. I really like that. Not so useful against blue when they can just return it to your hand, but I do like the idea of leveling up the character and getting it stronger as you cast a lot of instants or spells. And then this is what? It's a gold card. It's a zombie wizard. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Trample. Whenever Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks, you may target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to Dreadhorde Arcanist power from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Whenever Dreadhorde Arcanist attacks, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to Dreadhorde Arcanist power from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If the spell would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So I think what they're trying to do is set me up with a combo here. Because obviously, like his power is 1, right? Which is so great. You can when he attacks, you can cast a spell of 1 mana or less for free, and then remove it from your graveyard and put it into exile, right? Which is removed from the game entirely. Can't be resurrected, right? But if you're able to like see how he's only got 1 red mana, so and this would be really good in like a deck building deck. Duh. Um, in what is it? Like a construction tournament where you get um, a booster box and then a couple of packs and you build a deck, right? I'm assuming that Arena has a tournament type like that where you build your own deck and you try to make a 2 or 3 color deck, right? This would be really powerful in that because it only has 1 red. You can very easily dip into like a red or a, well, not red, but like a red white or a red green. Probably red white would be the best, but both of those are good colors for pairing with this one because you could very easily giant growth, right? Get him up to a 4, and then when he attacks, you get a spell back from your graveyard of 4 cost or less that you can cast. But it does need to be an instant or sorcery card, so not a creature. So this is good for Scorch too, right? Like the little 2 damage. Red Incinerate deals 2 damage to any creature or player. So good from that perspective too. This is probably going to be the last one. See if we can't do this quickly. Just getting tired. Alright, so we have a Charm Stray, an Impassioned Orator. I really like this card. What do I have? I have a Fire Urchin and an Ember Hauler. Woo! Wouldn't it be funny if I attacked with this and then they blocked with those 2 and I put this Infuriate on? But I kind of want to put this one out first just so that it can get the counter, +1/+1 counters from putting the Infuriate out there. So let's do that. Get more efficiency. Now if they both block, this Fire Urchin will die, so I don't think I'm going to attack this turn. Wait and see. You have to be careful with white too, because they do have pacifism. So if you rely too heavily on 1 card, that's just a really easy way for them to take that out. I don't know why I wouldn't block there. Okay. Alright, so everybody attacks. I wish this would get out of my way. Oh, view battlefield, okay. So it makes sense for this one to get hit first in this case, okay? And then what I think I can do is I can cast this. Whatever, what do I know? They have enough. They have 3. This will raise this one up high enough where it won't get destroyed. This one will get a counter on it. We'll do an attack. Take 3. Both of those cards die. And then I can choose to either put an Ember Hauler, which I like, or a Pack Mastiff. Let's go with the Ember Hauler for now. End our turn. Charm Stray. Yep. Alright, so I think I am going to activate this and take out the flyer. I think that just makes good sense. Okay, so let us... He's got lifelink though. Whoa, hold on. So he's gonna do 3. Okay, view the battlefield, view the browser, click done. It says 2 damage. Do the same thing here. So now we have a Pack Mastiff, and we're playing off the top of the deck. My opponent has 2 cards left. Not a good card there. What are you waiting on? Is that like a Sarah's Guardian or something? Guess I technically could have done an extra damage there. And that's why you don't want to worry. Put all of your cards in one deck. because this card is just debilitating. It can completely change games. So I can put 2, which would make him a 4/4. Well, 4/2. Which would be 8, 9. I could technically do 9 this round. Let's everybody attack. Let's see if you block. It's damage. Okay, so I need to save 2. Let's activate once. So that's 6, 7. Could have won last round. Or this round. Oh! Well, now I'm paying the price, right? It's a terrible card. It's not even close for being that much mana. It's not the savior that this person was looking for. It's just not. Okay, so I have 3 of these now. I could turn them into 4, 4, 4, 12. You're gonna have to block. So we'll do an attack. Everybody attack. It's a damage, yeah. Once. Going twice. There you go. That's it. Okay, so the last of these Goblin Gatherings are getting out of my deck. Thank goodness. I would not use them. At least not in a standard deck. Erratic Cyclops. Trample. Perfect. A 0/8 with Trample. That's exactly what you want. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Erratic Cyclops gets +X/+0 to the end of turn, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. So in some instances you have the one that costs 6 mana to do 6 damage. So we can turn him into a 6/8. It's a good wall. It won't help with flying. Okay. Kind of a specialty card. I guess with stuff like this though, you know, maybe he gets to be more useful. Chandra's Outrage deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage. So that's really efficient to do 6 points of damage for 4 mana. I guess you do have to target a creature, but then you also get to do 2 to the opponent. Sweet. Upgrades as far as I'm concerned. Gonna wait for this one. Definitely enjoyed working through some of this. Feel like it was a lot easier than the green campaign for sure. I feel like the green campaign had required. It's the only one I had a loss in. It's definitely required you to make less mistakes, and I feel like the red deck was much more straightforward in that you attack, right? You burn things and you kill creatures. Definitely, there's a lot of interoperability between the cards, in that you can activate abilities, and just being sure that you're aware of what's on the board. That's still important, but I feel like the green one was probably the most difficult as far as how, at least for the campaign, for how to proceed, and when and how to play the deck. Favorite deck so far is probably the white one. I've always liked the enchantments and the ability to stop people. And the blue deck isn't really the control deck that I'm used to playing, the flying control deck. But it's only a couple of counter spells, or whatever the name of the card is, for this generation. It's only a couple of control cards away from being that type of deck. Definitely saw the best creatures in the black deck, though. It's just amazing, the amount of power that you can get out so early for such low cost. I mean, there's always like a hidden cost, like a discard or something, but it's just what a great game. Really been fun getting back into this and playing. I hope you all are enjoying too. If you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe, tell your friends. Appreciate it. Take care.